All right, good morning, traders. Welcome to the All Markets webinar. This is Bruce at Bookmap. We'll be going through live order flow. Want to understand through Bookmap Markets webinar. This is the behavior of the participants in the auction process. And this is where order flow gives you that insight, being able to understand the only way that the participants can interact in the markets is with their orders. So we want to look at the flow of their orders to understand where price might go and how participants think of what's going on with the price action. That is the deeper insight that you'll get using Bookmap or understanding order flow. Where Bookmap really shines is it shows the historical view of that order flow as well as the current market view of that order flow. All right, we'll get into it in just a second. A few news updates here, and then we'll move on. We just had our onboarding meeting this morning. It was at 8 a.m. with Dan, then Wednesday, 4 p.m. with Brandon, and then Friday, 1 p.m. with myself. So this is for new traders to Bookmap that want to get up and running, connect to data, understand how to subscribe and connect to that data, as well as add symbols and get up and running. We're here for you. We'll go through it, no problem. Around the globe, no matter where you are, you should be able to fit into the schedule here at some point. Anyway, another thing, we've got like another week left of this here, and that's about it. This trading competition on our trading companions, and we have quite a nice one here, actually. Amazing. So here, let me show you. It's actually one of our educators here. Amazing. He brought his horse to his Bookmap here. He's got his laptop out in the out in the field here. And he's got an external monitor for that laptop as well, and he's trading with his horse. That's pretty original there. So anyway, guys, have some fun with this. Just take a photo with your pet and Bookmap in the background running, and hashtag Bookmap Pets for X, Instagram, and LinkedIn, and it'll pop up on our feed. Also, Bruce's pilot program. So this is something that we've been going over, and we're actually going to have a webinar tomorrow on it. I'll have more details for you. This pilot program is a subset of the Bookmap Academy. The Bookmap Academy, as you know, is we want to get you journaling, understanding your edge. Well, this is very particular. It is about knowing how to build that edge. Okay, this is the biggest gap I've seen in the trading world after talking to so many traders over the years, that the retail traders, well, from all levels really, many of them, they just don't know if they have an edge, and if they don't know that, they shouldn't be trading. Okay, some sort of edge, I mean some sort of advantage, and how to build that and define it is something that they don't know how to do either. This pilot program will change that. It will offer that for you. We start with a very simple setup. You get to know it intimately. You look for it. You take the trade, and you do it in replay mode, and you take it again in replay mode. And you build up your confidence. You build up your reps like you're going to the gym. And then from that, then you'll start forward testing. Okay, now the replay mode, what's so great about this is you can be up and running. You can get like 50 instances under your belt within a few days. And we have over a dozen replay files on our site. So if you're interested in this, go for it. Sign up. I have the link right here. It's bookmap.com en/Bruce-pilot-program. I'll put it into the chat for you here so that you can join. All right. Okay, now you will need to have Bookmap with that, but that's it. Okay, Bookmap Global or Global Plus will provide everything else for you. And we have a great community that will support this as well. Okay, this is the fastest way I've seen how to build that edge. and it's using that replay. The replay mode is key. Just it's the crux of it, really, is being able to understand that you can just replay it, rewind it, replay it, and you can go up to like 64 or higher speeds if you want. So that means you don't have to sit around all day long. And you don't have to wait for the market, take a trade, wait for it to work out, etc. That's the long way to go about it. This way you can get those reps under your belt very, very quickly. Now, this is a part of the process right here. This is the Bookmap Academy. As I said, the pilot program is a subsector. So what is this? All right, this is what we go through in all of these webinars, in the journaling, building out your playbook. This is key. All right. Number one, what's moving the market? What's the impetus? Number two, and that could be fundamental, it could be technical, it could be both. Then number two, what are the key levels on the higher time frames? We want to understand that because this is where traders react. And then we start to develop scenarios and strategies around these two things here. So we look for, well, is it a trending day? Is it a rotational day? Is it are we waiting for data? What is it? So that's when we come to finally our setup, and we choose the right setup for the scenario. And then this is actually the easiest part. Everyone focuses on this part, but they're missing all of these other elements up above that are essential to understand. Okay, I want to focus today on key levels and also on scalping. Okay, so we're going to talk about that pilot program a bit more as well, because it's not a scalp trade, but scalping in the live market can also build up those reps. Anyway, we'll continue on here. In the checkup, in the checklist here, you know exactly what it is, what elements you're looking for. You grade your setup based on the order flow, and you determine your sizing and risk. And then you just wait for your order flow events here to execute and manage your trade. All right, so general disclosure, all Bookmap Limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Risk disclosure: trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, let's jump in. Let's take a look and what's going on today. Okay, well, look at this move to the upside. All right, now why is it doing this? Well, let's take a look at the bigger picture here. There's all sorts of things going on in here, but the main driver is interest rates. Okay, and that was from FOMC last week, and we know that they were cut a quarter point, and we've had some shakeups in the Fed a little bit. So in fact, I think this week, or maybe even, is it today? Yeah, Fed member Myron speaks. Okay, Myron. Now he just got voted in. He was the only one that dissented on the rate cut. He wants to see it. He wanted to see not 25 basis points. He wanted to see 50. Okay, this is getting very political, and he's one of the most contentious at the moment. All right, so this is probably going to stir up the markets. All right, so when does that happen? Well, it happens at 12. So in a couple hours, and I bet we'll see some sort of reaction from traders. All right, anyway, let's see, what else do we have for today? Okay, well, we don't have much really, so not a whole lot of data. Later in the week though, we do. We have flash manufacturing PMI, and durable goods. This is much later in the week. And we have GDP, final GDP, and we also have the core PCI later. That will be on Friday. Okay, so there's some pretty good data points coming out later. But the interest rates and the aftermath of that is what we're seeing the reaction to here. Now, let's take a look at some of our key levels and what's kind of going on in here. Okay, here's the daily over here on the left-hand side, and you can see this move to the upside due to the interest rates. then we can look at the hourly in here. Not seeing too much on the daily. We see a wick here on today's action, but we're green here still. We're above the open. And we had a big drop on the overnight. Well, pretty beautiful gap fill here. You can see it hourly. You don't really see it too well, but you can see it really nicely here on the 15-minute. Hold on, guys. Let me make sure everyone is here on the same page. Okay. You guys can hear me well over on Discord. Okay. All right. Now, I don't know about you guys, but this looked like a pretty easy setup to me. That we open down here and look at all of this price action in here, okay, from the overnight and from Friday. Oh, I'm sorry, this is from Friday. Okay, this is the 15-minute chart. Okay, I don't have the overnight here. This would be the overnight. All right, but this is from Friday, and we open down here. And we open down below all of that, and then look at the buying that came back in, and it came right back up into like a magnet here, right into the gap fill. Okay, now I would assume that there's going to be a reaction up here at the gap fill. Okay, this is a pretty important area here, or higher time frame level to consider. And we do see that reaction here. We see that these three green candles right up into the gap, and then now we see a wick, and we see the first red candle. Now it hasn't closed yet, but it's just about to. A couple more minutes. We'll see if it goes red or not. Let's take a look here at Bookmap, and we're going to zoom out here as well. Okay. All right. So yeah, we see the move up. Now this is all of this is all last week here. Yeah, this is all last week and the week before, and this is the beginning of the week here. All right, so this is the weekend. You see this big gap in here. All right, so now are we going to come up into all-time highs and test it? Well, we'll see. If we see that momentum still continue to pick up, then it looks pretty good. And there's some nice higher time frame liquidity up here at 67.40. Has been in there since Friday. Okay, so anyway, something to keep in mind. What about 67.50? No, don't see too much up there at the moment. All right. Okay, let's zoom in a little bit closer now. And here's our 9:30 cash open, right? Yeah. Okay, so here's our dynamic here from the overnight. Okay, and you can see that down in here, this kind of bouncing around, and then you see the lift here. You see the pullback here, and you see nothing but buying in here just before the cash open, and then continuation of that buying. Okay, so this is what we have here looking at the overnight. Okay, we went below this swing here. Now we didn't go to the lows. Okay, and you do see some heavy selling in here just around the London open or so, a little bit later. But and then all of that selling kind of determined all the price action in here. In fact, you can look at the trendline break and accumulation trade in here. You can even be a little bit more aggressive with it and even look at it in here. Anyway, the setup is not quite there for it, to be honest. We would look for this kind of accumulation over here from the passive side, and we're not really getting that in here. Okay? This is all about the open and the momentum from the aggressors coming in. All right, and this is a very different setup. Okay, I mean, it's basically the only thing that it shares in common is the aggressors here and the structure break. Okay, now that said, It also coincides with a very volatile time frame at the open. Okay, there's going to be a lot of momentum, and we're opening lower. We have, the fundamentals are good. We're opening below all of this price action in here. For it to float back up into this area in here, or even this area right here, would be you would look for it, definitely, and you look for that momentum to continue. Okay, it's very, very strong momentum in here, as you guys can see. Look at the angle and look at that move in here. All right. Duplicating drawing. No, you cannot. Yeah, no, it's not possible, Shark. But yeah, I've discussed it with the developers. Yeah, I mean, you basically have to redraw it. You've seen me do it many times in here. Okay, so for example, if we're looking at a range, and you kind of draw up that range, and you're looking for a range move, one way or the other here, and just and then you just duplicate it. All right. Anyway, all right. So let's continue on with our higher time frame levels. Okay. So we know. Well, let's go back to the candlestick chart. Okay, we got the gap fill already, and the candle just closed here, and it's green, just slightly green for the 15-minute. It was red just some minutes ago, and we still see some momentum in here. Not much, but we still see a little bit of buying in here. Okay, so let's see if buyers. Let's see how powerful they are compared to the sellers in here. Yeah, I mean, you can see the big buying in here, and you see the not much of a stop run. Do I have the stops on chart? Hold on a minute. Okay, I don't. That's why. There we go. Huge stop run. Okay, 675. Okay, well, you can see we came right up into this area in here, and sellers took it right back down. Now, this is where I would look for, down in this area in here. Now, it's a zone, okay? In this little zone, it's about a point and a half or 2 points. I would look for buyers to come back in. Okay? Maybe we go, yeah, down to the bottom of the profile here. But I would look for buyers to come back in and trade it probably, right back up to 19 or 20 here. Okay, we're already at 19. And let's see now, if the buyers can pick it up above 19 in here, we're looking for 22. And that'll be high of the day. And how far off are we from the all-time highs? 31 up here. Yeah. So we're about 11 points off. 11, 12 points off. So we should put a line in there. Somewhere around there. Just to give us some sort of reference. Okay, so uh, I wanted to go over today some of the higher time frame levels, but then we're going to start to drill down into fractals of these levels in here, because it's really the same story again and again, and we want to understand the higher time frame levels and then how they relate to lower time frame levels. And then we can look for scalps within those areas in here, just to give or get the concept across that this is where traders are going to react, right? Just like we assumed right in here, we will get a reaction in this area right here, and we did. Okay. Now, what's so nice about this one here is that you can see we still have momentum to the upside. Okay, this is still going with the trend. And this is actually a pretty classic one in here. To be honest, like this is the low, right? Look at the little swing in here. We come right back down and just kind of breach it here, or just test it. And then we don't see much, a little bit of selling in here, but buyers come back in and then bring it right back up. Okay, and there's more buyers in here. Okay, so I'd still look for this 22 to transact. Okay, now here's our battle shaping up. Look at the push underneath here on the bid. Now, do sellers want this? Okay, there's a little bit of selling there. And now watch if it turns over here. Now we should see it pop up into 2022 or so. Okay, even more buyers underneath here. Interesting dynamic again. Like yeah, we got a little bit of pop, but there still seems to be some selling in here, a little bit of interest on that sell side. All right, we do find some sellers. Okay, so let's see how they transact into that 20.5. They just did. All right, buyers come back out. Let's see the buyers come in right here at 21 right now, and then let's get the move back up into 22, and then we might even get a move to like 23 or 24 here, and that's what I'd be looking for. Now this is high of day now. Okay, you can see the resistance in here, and you can, or not so much resistance. I mean, this is supply. These are limit sell orders, quite a few. So we're seeing the reaction up in here, and we would assume that there would be a reaction up in here. It's high of day. Okay, so we want to see what unfolds up at this level. Can you guys hear me over here, over in Discord? Not sure if this is working or not. Yes, okay. Got you. All right, thank you, Duzman. Okay, yeah, okay, yeah. I see Alois, good morning, trading his life. Shano, Shark, Dan. Okay, we are good. Okay. Okay, buyers coming right back in here. Okay, we sold off in here. That pressure in here, or that supply, kind of repelled price, right? All right, well, let's see now. Does that supply show up again? Let's actually take a look at, we're going to insert another column in here, and this is the chart range volume profile, and we're going to keep it at chart range, but I'm going to configure it and look at delta. Okay, so this is the buy minus sell. So there's more buyers up in here. Now this is the top edge, right? There's more buyers up in here. Okay, but are they trapped? Or are we going to see buyers come up in here and then break out back up into 23, 24? Okay, 22 is still not traded yet. Okay, or are we going to see this? Are we going to see sellers come in, okay, down around this 20 and a half or 20 and a quarter, move all the way back down to the bottom of the range in here around 18 or 17 and a half, and then find buyers come charging back up and then break out? And why would we look for that? Because these guys up here aren't able to move the market yet. We need buyers in here now, and if no one buys up here, maybe they stand aside, sellers take it back down, and then we come right back up. Okay, so you can see we're not getting that. We're starting to find our buyers in here, so they should be able to break out. Okay, they're already gotten to highs of the day. Yeah, it's a look, these kinds of moves in here, especially with time of day, it makes a difference. It's something that we really want to kind of pay attention to closely, because there's been a lot of momentum in the day here so far to the upside. And this is the move we were looking for here. We're up to 24. We're actually trading up to almost 25 liquidity up there now. Okay. Now I'd look for a quick pullback here, to be honest. Probably right back down to about 22 and a half or so. I do not see a lot of buying follow through here to the upside. I see there's a lot of selling too. Okay, so a pullback is in order, I think. Maybe back down to where we just broke out from. All right. Anyway, the idea was that we're watching this closely up in here. We saw that the delta was starting to pick up on the buy side, and we didn't know if this was going to be, we needed to kind of stop everybody out and then come charging back up. But there's a lot of buying up in here, and if they're holding on and they don't get stopped out, we can come back up here, auction again, and then break out. Now that didn't unfold. Instead, anyone that was selling in here got squeezed to the upside, okay? And we can see that here's our stop run here, 166. There's probably a lot more than that in here. Yes, you can see it in here on the sub chart. Okay, but we're filtering it, right? Now here we go, another one here, 140. Okay. All right, so looking again for a pullback after that. Stop run, high liquidity, and then a pullback here. Okay, let's go look at our higher time frame in here. Okay, we're up at 23 and a half, 24, and 31 is the all-time highs, right? That momentum has continued clearly. As you can see, this was that 15-minute bar we were looking at that was a bit red, and then closed green. All right, here's what I'm going to do here. We're gonna take a look at the candlestick chart. Actually, we can do it in Bookmap. Here's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna use the Trader Map Pro, or we're gonna use feature here with um, the duplicate instrument. Okay, let's see here. Just a second. All right, let's add it. I don't see it here actually. Add-ons manager. And now these are alphabetically ordered, so I'll easily be able to see it here. Instrument copy, that's what it's called. Okay, so it's in here. It's selected. There it is. Okay, instrument copy, and then we're just going to hit create. Or you can also hit the plus tab in here, and I'll show you. So hitting create here, it'll create a duplicate of the one you're already on right now, and you can see it's just done it. Here it is. Here it says it's a copy, and then what I want to do is we're going to go into here, and we'll take off the candlestick. We'll take off everything except for the candlestick. And then we'll make this into a 15-minute chart. Okay, and let's take the stops and icebergs off of here as well. All right. And we're going to click on this tab here. We're going to add, oh, I only have local data here. Okay. Okay. All right. So I'll only be able to show this much here. But what I can do, I can show it here on this original chart, because I know we can zoom out quite a bit here. And let's do it. Let's show it. So I'm going to kind of hide some of these things for the moment. Stops and icebergs on chart. It's going to stop showing them for the moment. Okay, and let's clear all our drawings. And now let's show candlesticks. And we'll keep the volume bars. Okay. All right, guys, here we go. Okay, so now we can take a look at this in here, and you can see we're breaking out above these ranges. That's why we're at high of the day here. And let's zoom out a little bit more. Okay, you can see the candlesticks. What they're doing in here is actually kind of a unique feature. Let me show you how this works. See, it says enable candle for aggregate. So based on the bar width, and when it starts to kind of overlap, then this will break out into a higher time frame candlestick chart. Now, if you don't like that, you just deselect it, and we can take a look at it this way. Okay, so let's zoom in a little bit closer now. All right, so here are candles, and okay, we're above all this price action in here, and still ripping to the upside. Okay, here's our all-time highs. Okay, so just up in here, this is where we are going. This is the next key level. Let's mark it up on the chart. Okay, there's also kind of a level here that I want to mark up. Okay, this was a swing before it, and kind of a zone in here, because this wick in here was kind of curious to me. I remember it from last week. Anyway, that's what we want to take a look at in here, and we're going to look at some of these key levels. Okay, so here's all that price action we were looking at earlier, right in here. Let's zoom back out. Okay, and see how we're below it in here on the overnight. and then we came back up above this range here, right at the cash open, and we got the momentum back up here. Okay, so this is what we saw over here on this candle chart here. Okay, and the open here. Now we don't have this is the regular trading hours. I filtered out the overnight. Right, so we got a reaction down here is what I'm trying to get at, and then we got our gap fill. Okay, so now we're looking for all-time highs, and we got to get through this level up in here, and that's going to be kind of critical. Hold on a minute. That by accident. All right, there we go. Okay, so yeah, as you can see, this is that zone I'm talking about in here, and in fact, let me edit this one, that up a little bit, and then we'll edit this one and just delete it. I think we need that one, and there's our zone. All right, okay, and we're just kind of tapping into it now. Okay, so what other key levels do we have? Well, we can maybe look at around this 19 or somewhere around in here, this 20-ish level that we just broke out from. Okay, because there's volume up above here, but there's a lot more volume in here, right? So just below it. Okay, so pullbacks, for example, could be a bounce off of one of these levels in here. All right, so these are some key levels. Now let's jump into the order flow and start to understand what it looks like at some of these key levels. Okay, we turn on the heat map. We can start with just that. In fact, okay, we're trading up into high liquidity in these areas in here. Okay, well, you can look at the bid underneath though. Okay, bid is pretty strong here. So now let's turn on the volume dots. Okay, and let's see how is that reacting with this strong bid. And let's also turn on the best bid and offer. All right, here's our reaction with a strong bid here at 25.5. It's kind of trading into it a little bit. These guys are starting to pull some of that liquidity. Okay, still finding more buyers up here. Okay, here comes the swing. Now I'm looking for more buyers in here. Now this is the second rotation. It is more likely to break on the second rotation or third rotation. So I would look for it to break out, and let's look for it to do a measured move of this range. Okay, that would only take us up to this 29.25. So we'd look for, yeah, maybe we come up into there. Maybe we have to rotate around a little bit and then come up into the all-time highs just above here, as you can see. Okay, this 31.5. Okay, so that's how we're putting together the ranges and price action together with the order flow and our higher time frame key levels. Okay, understood? Any questions on this? Hit me up with some questions, especially you pilot program guys. Well, we're looking at something very different in the pilot program. But you were still, look, we still see momentum here. We're looking for it to go higher. Now, it's done a measured move in here of this range. I just don't see much liquidity up in here. at the moment. Okay, so but a pullback is likely. Getting a pullback's not out of the question here. Or another scenario here is, sometimes we see it come right back up, it come up to make the measured move, and it just continues and stops, and we get a huge spike and stop run up into all-time highs. Okay, so here what we've done is we've gone through that process again of, let's go back to the slideshow. This process. Okay, impetus, what's moving the market? What are our key levels? Then scenarios and strategies around them. Okay, then our setup. And our setup is like looking for the breakout and continuation. All right, so we drew up our key levels, and we're looking for reactions around them. And then we started to, it was nice to look at that higher time frame candlestick and just zoom out here and see like, wow, there's a really strong bid underneath here. There still is. So I'm still looking for this to go higher. Now let's not forget 12 p.m. So in another hour and 15 minutes, Myron will speak. Is it Myron or Myron? I don't know. And traders are going to react to that. Now he's gonna pound on the table for interest rate cut. I mean, that's about as transparent as it can be. Okay, still strong bid underneath. Here's 30, here's our 31.5, and our all-time high level up here at 31.5. So still looking for the test up into that. Guys over in Discord and Bookmap Academy pilot program, guys, like look, this is the grind here, right? This is that diagonal grind that we've always talked about. And there's nothing to do here. You just kind of let it continue to grind higher. And there's going to be pullbacks along the way. Sometimes there's these clean outs as well. You get a strong selling all the way back down to a swing or like a low volume node in here, swing down here, and then it just kind of creeps right back up and grinds right back up to the all-time highs. Okay. Now another thing that is dependent is on what Myron has to say at noon. So of course it's a lot easier said than done, but this is that grinding trade, right? And you're in it, and you just stay in it and let it work. And this channel tool in here for you guys that you want to edit this and extend it, you can. There you go. So today's worked out pretty well. We started with the and we never know, but we started with this higher time frame analysis, and we knew that we opened up below all of this price action in here. We saw a lot of momentum. Okay, and we know that we've had a lot of momentum for day after day in here, and we know that the interest rates, the market is bullish. Okay, so we're looking for more momentum to trade up to the gap, and then we'll see. We don't know. We know there's going to be a reaction up at the gap. and then we'll see afterwards, and then we've seen the momentum continue in here, so we're looking for that continuation trade. Now watch this in here. Watch when we go to all-time highs in here, and we're gonna see a lot of selling in here. I bet. Okay, now we don't know, maybe we'll pop through here, and you know, it just continues to just, you know, charge, so that maybe it goes exponential in here. But you know, I think that I imagine we're going to have some traders react up here at all-time highs. Maybe you know, it'll pop through, maybe trap some traders, and then turn around, and then a lot of selling, a lot of profit taking. But you know, I'm speculating, I'm looking for that, and we're going to look for it in the order flow. Okay, so now we traded up to this high liquidity here at 31. Not one transaction yet up there. So I would be taking some off up here. I don't know if I would be closing it, but I might. You know, this was a pretty good run, and I'm not looking for you know, hitting a home run here. Okay, there we go. Okay, it just traded and went through it. Okay, all-time highs are just being tested here. Bid is still strong. Okay, you can still see it. I'm going to get rid of the channel tool here. It's or at least this is what I'll do. I'll edit it. And no shading. The shading right now is just kind of let's try that again. All right. How's our profile look over here? A lot of trading back down in this area here. We saw that breakout, and it was right around in here. So this is that profile that was building out, 21 and a quarter down to the 16 and a half or so. Throw this out to you guys. Like, how do you guys feel about this situation with the Fed? And here's where I'm going with it. Is, you know, are we going to continue to see all-time highs here? Are we going to see buyers at higher highs in here? Okay, because we have a kind of a reason now. Whereas, you know, in the past, we saw so many times where we come up to all-time highs and we just didn't get buyers. You know, there was no one was interested in taking it higher, and it just kind of flopped around a little bit, and then we'd see it sell off and kind of you know, and then come back up and find traders buying the dips again and again. Now is this a little different? Is this situation different? It looks like it. I'm seeing buyers up in here. So you know, we're still going higher, and this is due to the fundamental news, in my opinion. Like, you know, at least that's the way I'm kind of looking at it and putting it together. Is that you know, everyone's thinking that yeah, there's going to be more interest rate cuts, and you know, market's going to like it, going to go higher, and they are buying higher highs. Now we're going to find those sellers in here. Believe me, I believe that we will. They're going to be profit taking. It's a great time to get out. It's going to leave a lot of traders that bought up in here on the hook, and they're going to be stopped out on the way down. Okay, selling. Look at the bars in here. Bars aren't bad in here. There's still more buying though, but this is a little different now. See that this is heavier selling in here. All right, let's use the same analysis in here with some of these ranges. Okay, we have kind of a range here, and we have kind of a range here. Okay, well, where are we looking for them to trade down to? Probably down here, or this liquidity down here around 31. Okay, if we see that selling continue. Now let's see, top of this little range in here. Getting buyers? Yeah, we are. Okay, we still have a bid too. Yeah, so I would look for it to rotate back up into 34, 35. Okay, it got up to 34. Nothing higher though. Okay, so now we're getting our sellers. Now we're looking for. This is more of that clean out in here. This is what we were kind of talking about earlier. This up here is now we're starting to see a lack of buyers up in here. And that doesn't mean we can rotate back up. We've seen this so many times. We can rotate back up and then find buyers again and break out, right? Is what we're looking for though is this selling in here. There's new selling coming in. We're looking for that selling to be squeezed, and that would be the move higher. Okay, so I don't see it quite yet. So let's see if we get some more selling. Got to go lower into 31 or 30. And then we'll see if we get more buyers buying dips at some of those areas. Okay, 30 looks pretty good. A swing down here. There's also a swing here around this 31.5-ish area. No questions over on YouTube. It's been quite quiet over on YouTube. Okay, let's see here. This is what I'm really curious to see in here. Okay, are we going to get these buyers at the top of the range in here for that all-time high in that breakout? Okay, I still think I'm looking for sellers in here to kind of pull it away and then go low enough to start to find the buyers. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. So yeah, I am looking for then I guess this channel here to break, and I'm looking for sellers now to start hitting into the bid here. Okay, this 31 3/4 and this 31 down here. We're still in an uptrend. We haven't broken the channel. We're just going sideways. Okay, I'm looking for those sellers though. I do not see them yet. Okay, here you got a question for the trendline break and accumulation trade, Sakin. With so much momentum, this is a great question. With so much momentum to the upside, are you still, or do we not look for it? It's a good question. No, I mean, we're still at a key level, right? And that's important. Now, do we have a lot of absorption on the way up in here? Okay, because what's going to take away the momentum, right? And this is for any reversal. So don't worry so much about the setup. Understand the elements in the setup. Okay, so are we trading into high liquidity on the offer, and are they getting filled, and is it slowing down price? Right, so we're looking for that transition, remember, from buy side to sell side. Okay, in the bars and the dots. Okay, I don't see it yet. Okay, it's still buy side, and we haven't broken structure either at all. So Sakin, that's the answer. I would say you're right that with so much momentum, it's likely like it's kind of hard to slow that train down, but that's why we look for the passive accumulation. Okay, and then you'll start to see it make a lower high, for example, or maybe just a slightly higher high, and then maybe a lower low, or equal low and then a lower low. And then we're looking for the transition from this buy aggressor to sell. Okay, so that's exactly why we go through the 4 elements in detail. If you understand those elements and the analysis is looking really good, you take the trade. Okay, the trend line break and accumulation, it works. Okay, now hit a single on that. Don't look for a home run. Right, it's kind of a counter trend trade at that point. Where the trade works the best is when it's aligned with a higher time frame trend. It's a pullback, it's a reversal, but when it's in a higher time frame trend, going with it, it works great. Like I said, you don't see it here because you don't get that passive accumulation. I mean, you do over here on this way down in here. Okay, so this one kind of fits the criteria in here. Okay, at least passive accumulation. Okay, I don't really see aggressors until here. But definitely structure was broken here. We're going to see a trend line breakdown in here. I just don't see the aggressors coming back in, so I would miss that one. Okay, passive accumulation is good though, very good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right, and also what else do you have down here at 95, 66.95? Let's go back to our candlestick. 66.95. Look at that. Beautiful. Right below all of this in here. So you got those two things going for you. You got a key level and you got a lot of passive accumulation. Okay, so what happened in here is this is where it's a little tricky, but the same ideas apply. We're still breaking out, guys. We'll come back to this in just a second. The same idea applies though. Let's zoom back out a little bit. Okay, and let's take the candles off. It's getting in the way. So here's that passive accumulation and that aggressive selling move into all that passive liquidity. And then the back and forth in here. We don't see the aggressors yet. I mean, this is, how do I explain this? Okay, it's not picture perfect, but the second, this is putting those pieces together. And that's really where, you're following one setup and getting to know it really, really well. Okay, it is not presenting here, but the elements are presenting. It's just not all aligned nicely. So let me just bear with me on this one. Okay, because this is where the knowledge the pieces come together. And from that pilot program, you're going to be able to put these pieces together and really understand what's going on in the market, and you'll have opportunities abounding left and right that are high probability. Here's why. On the overnight here, all of that, this move here was we see all that high liquidity, and then it just chops around in here. Okay, so in the setup, we're actually looking for all of that high liquidity to get filled in here. Right? Like in this area, in here, and here, and here, we want to see it trade into that, and then we want to see a trend line break, right? And we want to see the aggressors come in. Okay, well, here's what happened. So it's really pretty much the same thing, but we have that passive liquidity filled way over here on the overnight and London session. Okay, and then it just chops around and chops around on the extended hours. And then we have the aggressors come in and the structure break, but when? Okay, just before the cash open. And those aggressors came in hand over fist in the cash open. Okay, so those four elements are there. We're at a key level. We see the passive accumulation. We see a structure break. And we do get the aggressors. It just didn't line up though altogether like we have in the setup. Does that make sense? Does that make sense to you guys over on Discord too? You see where I'm going at? What I'm trying to cover here? Okay, those elements are all present. They just kind of are sporadic around here. Okay. Thank you, Duzman. Yes, you guys get it. Well, I know, like Trading is Live, DNT, Shark, Laura, I know you guys, and now Duzman, I know you guys are going to get it because you guys know these things. You know these elements, and you can start to put those pieces together. We also have some fundamentals that fit so nicely in this to move to the upside. We have the gap fill as well. So there's a lot of things that are really nice for this pretty, momentum, pretty strong momentum move to the upside. Okay, it makes sense. It starts to fit, and that's where doing those reps and understanding these markets and putting these pieces together will be invaluable. All right, so let's see here. Now, here comes some heavy selling. Okay, now we found someone on the offer too. Okay, so here we see the move to the upside. Look at this heavy selling now. Okay, this is a little different than before, right? Okay, great. So what about all that passive accumulation on the way up? Yeah, not bad, not bad. It's kind of hard to judge in here, but because I'm seeing them kind of pull in some of these areas in here. Okay, well, we definitely have a break of structure though. We see the trend line break. We also have a break of this smaller structure up here. Okay, and we have another one here. Okay, it's just testing it right now. All right, So yeah, I would look for a pullback in here, to be honest. Probably up to about this 34, somewhere around in there. All right, let's talk about this one as a trend line break and accumulation. You're hearing double audio come in. Anyone else? Okay. Thanks, DNT. Because it's a good question here, Sakin's question about is it Sachin or Sakin Kumar? Anyway, it's a good question because this is a strong momentum move. We're at all-time highs. We have some pretty, probably some pretty, we know is a bullish environment due to the interest rates. And we also have a speaker coming out in 50 minutes. Okay, so are we really looking for like, a big move to the downside? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't look at this as higher probability. Yeah, we might get it. We might get the move, but see how like there's kind of different shades to look at, Sakin. Okay, this is we're looking for the elements, but I want to put those pieces together, and that's where like David, like you said, yes, just don't hit a home run here. If you take this counter trend trade, you might get really hurt here, or don't add to it. You're just trying to hit a single and get out. That's it. Okay, you're not looking for more if you take that. Okay, or maybe you want to pass altogether, or maybe just wait and watch, get a feel for it here, and then replay it later. Okay, like right in here. Okay, look at the buying up in here. Okay, look where that buying took place. It's mostly up here, right? And that's where the sellers came in, and that's where it even retested here. So this is, to me, this would be kind of a little bit of a zone in here where I would look for sellers. The big red balls are aggressive sellers. Market sell orders, Al. And we're going to look for them right here. We're going to see if the buyers take these guys on here, and then it fails here at 34.5. Okay, we're looking for a big red ball here at 33 3/4. And then we look for a move right back down to the bottom of this range here. Now, it's not much of a move, right? But we're not trying to knock it out of the park here. Let's see. Trading's Life, Shark, DNT. Like, what do you guys like? We're looking for this to unfold, but I mean, we can feel. I mean, I feel like I'm kind of fighting it here. We're getting the sellers now after the push through. I would look for the sellers to, test again down here around this 32.5 and see if we get buyers again. Okay, but I just don't, after what we covered in here about the fundamentals and the impetus, what's moving the market here, it just doesn't give me that, good, strong feeling, uh, that, that kind of confidence that's done through that back testing and forward testing, in your reps. Okay, so here we're getting our big red balls down here, right? 30, this 33 and 3/4. So we look for a move down to the bottom of the range here, and yeah, I would be probably taking some off down here. I know it's a small scalp. Okay, and then stop to break even. Maybe we get a runner out of it, maybe. Okay, but I'm not looking for much. Yep, yep, Kev. This is the you're watching on mobile. Okay, this is the chat, and so we have this webinar 3 times a week. It is, as you can see, we're integrating some of the pilot program setups and work in here, and the Bookmap Academy work in here as well. But it is much more. It's about all markets and all different ways of trading. Right? And here to answer your questions and to find something that kind of may work for you. We're not getting too specific. We'll cover a lot of different things in here. Okay, because no matter what kind of trader you are, like, order flow in some sort of way, shape, or form is going to help. Oh yeah, thank you, DNT. Yeah, thank you, DNT. Really supportive. Really appreciate that. I posted, guys, in the pilot program, the Friday's replay file. I thought it was a really good one. I hope you guys took that too. It was it was a kind of a pity, because like we spent the whole dang webinar, an hour and a half, going through this and that, and it was choppy. We got a few moves, a few nice moves, and seeing distinctions and some of the volume, and looking for follow through, and they unfolded. That was good to see. But then end of the webinar, it's like, okay, well, where do we go from here? Let's like try to get some clarity on all of this. And it's like, okay, well, we have massive absorption, on the bid, and we hadn't seen the aggressors come in yet, though. We're looking for that and a break of the structure, and then, like, I don't know, 5 or 10 minutes later, it did that. And it just rocketed to the upside. Now, see the distinction? This is the distinction. And thank you, DNT. He's got the replay file here. Go replay it. Check it out. Because look at the distinction between today and this here that Sakin is talking about, and then Friday's move. Friday's move is going with the fundamentals. Okay, it's going with that bigger picture. It's going with that higher time frame. Now, the higher time frame actually wasn't the best. We mentioned that, the higher time frame level, but it was hitting into a level. It just wasn't the best one. But man, was that passive accumulation good. That was excellent. And then those aggressors did come in. Okay, so let's take a look at this one here right now. See the distinction in this in here right now? Okay, I'm not really seeing a whole lot, on the bid in here, or I'm sorry, getting filled on the bid in here. Yeah, I'm not seeing sellers engaging with them so much. I see some selling coming in. Okay, but let's see if maybe they hit into it right now. Okay, so there's some exhaustion there. And we look for aggressors right here at 32 to hit into 31 down to 30. And maybe lower. However, I'm kind of looking for something like this. okay, and this structure, okay, and there's a couple of structures in here, this one and this one. Okay, now if we can't get down below and we start to see those aggressors come back in up in here and breaking this structure on high volume, I would look for it to come back up to 36 3/4, maybe 40. Okay, that high liquidity that's been up here for since Friday. Okay, so this would turn into more of a flag pattern, more a continuation pattern. And now we need to wait and see if that follows through. We're just starting to outline it, starting to draw it out right now. All right, let me see if I got some. Oh, I stirred up some questions over here. Good, good. Oh, so Sakin, you understand? Let's see, David. Topic for later. What's the name of the indicator in the lower? The red and blue. Yeah, these are the stops and icebergs. I'm kind of waiting for a good opportunity to. And it might have to be like in October, to be honest. Like I'm quite busy doing a whole lot of stuff until the end of the quarter here. But I would like to go over a very simple scalp for you guys using the stops and icebergs, but mostly stops like this here. Stop run, high liquidity down below here, but then we're looking for the buyers to come in here, right at 31 3/4. And then just top of the range, just scalp it up to the top of the range. Maybe if you're going with the trend, you can get more out of it. Okay, but just a really, really simple thing. But it's so powerful though, because you see these range bound trades and you see like it cascade into an area of high liquidity and tons of people getting stopped out. And then buyers come back in and break that structure. Same idea as this trend line break and accumulation, but we're looking at a range and we're looking at a scalp and we're looking at stops as well. Okay, so it will the breakdown will fail basically, and we have to confirm that fails. Anyway, I think it's a great setup, and it's a great one that you guys could just the beauty of it is you could just trade it all the time. It happens so often in the markets, but you're not taking much out of it. But what you are building though is hopefully quick wins, small wins, confidence that will work into bigger wins and more confidence. Okay. Yep. So yeah, as you can see, this is kind of starting to play out. Okay. Now we'll see. We got the London close coming up, or European close coming up in about 8 minutes or 10 minutes or so. Here's another one for you pilot program guys. What we just covered here. Okay, we covered this as a scalp trade. Let's take a look at this in a higher time frame trade. Let me get rid of some of this stuff in here. It's a little much. Okay, so here's what we got going. Okay, is this move here the passive liquidity here, it traded, okay, but it doesn't take much now. right? The momentum is still to the upside, but for you pilot program guys, like putting these pieces together. Now I know you know this stuff. But we're talking about the nuances more and more, and I think it's important because a lot of you are very clearly ready for that. I think we're ready to take this to next levels. Here's a nuance in here. Okay, we're in a pretty big uptrend. Fundamentally, we were looking for this reversal at this point, okay, but we're not looking for much out of it, right? And instead, we'd be taking our profits down at the bottom of this little range in here, like we said. And then we started to look for maybe the opposite setup and the continuation trade to the upside, okay, which is starting to unfold now. Okay, so now what about the accumulation passively on the bid down here? Well, I don't see much here. I don't see much, but here's a little bit here. And we had tiny stop run there, not much. But here's some passive liquidity getting filled here. Okay, and now we're getting aggressors come back in again here, going with the trend. Okay, so now it doesn't take a whole lot of passive liquidity in here to find those aggressors go with the bigger trend here. Does that make sense? You guys with me? All right, I know you are trading his life. I know you see all these things. I mean, like, but see how like this kind of understanding, and it's like, okay, we'll just take it up to the top of the range, and take some off. Now you have probably more of an opportunity for this to continue as well. Okay, but just make sure you take some off at the top of the range or near the top of the range, maybe right in front of that high liquidity. So maybe you'd lose out a couple of ticks, but I mean you would have gotten filled, and that's hitting your single, and then moving your stop up, and then if you're looking for this to continue, then we're looking for a continuation trade to unfold here. Okay, but this is the key here. This is not like a reversal anymore. Okay, this is a continuation trade, so it doesn't take as much liquidity like this to get filled passively. We already know we have aggressors from all of this over here. Okay, so we're looking for a few more aggressors here for them to lift the market and to start to target some of that high liquidity. Okay. Okay, now maybe this one doesn't work out. Maybe you took some off and then you get stopped out at break even. Anyway, once the four elements, like in that trend line break and accumulation, it's really understood and digested, along with this play or checklist here with our impetus, key levels, scenarios, and setups. You can start to look at these nuances in here. And then like really the world's your oyster. I mean, there's all sorts of like ways to look at this, and don't get confused by it. Okay, that's not the goal here. Not whatsoever to get confused with it. And I don't know if it's actually a good idea, like to mention some of these things. Like I think those that have been looking at this a lot understand these this setup in the pilot program, understand these elements extremely well. Yeah, then I think it doesn't. I don't think you'll find it confusing. I think you'll find it enlightening, and liberating. But And then those can lead into other studies too, that you can tailor for replay mode and forward testing. Okay, but for those of you new, please do not follow that. Just keep an ear open for some of these ideas, I think, and then once you really start to see and understand the dynamic between these four elements of that passive liquidity filled, the key levels, and the aggressors, and then the structure break, then you can see it on all sorts of time frames. And for those of you who are heard this for the first time, here's the pilot program here. Okay, I just put it into the chat for you. Okay, so you can sign up there. If you have problems signing up, guys, just come over to our Discord channel, and then because there's been some issues the back end a bit. So if you're having issues with it, just come into the general chat on Bookmap's Discord channel. Right, Dan, that's where we've been sending them, right, to the general chat. Let me double check on that. Okay, general chat, or just send Dan a message. And probably better at general chat, just because if Dan doesn't get to you fast enough, Dan's got a lot of stuff on his plate, the moderators can help out. Okay, and just request that you want to be a part of it. Right, we need to verify, you got Bookmap, global or global plus, but just request in that general chat you want to partake in it, or you signed up. Say that you signed up, right? And then we can add you and give you the role to access the Discord channel. All right, guys, I think that about sums it all up. We've got another half hour before Miran starts speaking, so I imagine we're probably going to chop around for a little bit here. But anyway, as you can see, this this kind of reversal here wasn't really what we were looking for, and we can see now, like, it's kind of turning around again, and maybe come back up to all-time highs here, but I don't like it right now. I think we're going to be kind of stuck between this 35.25 and maybe around 30 or so for the next half hour. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And then all the files and stuff, like you say, Alois, are pinned, or Trader, are pinned in the chat room there. Data files and instructions. Yeah, this is a failure, a good example of a failure here. Well, and it's looking to me like it's a continuation trade, but not too convinced of that yet either. But I would say that's probably more likely than a reversal right now. Okay, so this goes back to Sakin's question, which kind of kicked the whole thing off here. Calaman, yeah, we can look at the S&P. Not today. We got to go tomorrow, though. Ask me. I'll be happy to go over the NASDAQ with you. All right, guys. Anyway, thanks for coming. We'll do it again tomorrow. Don't forget, we are also having our Pro Trader webinar series. this week. It's actually the Bookmap Coaches webinar series this week. In fact, let me get the image here and show you. Yeah. And it's exclusively in Discord too. So just note that. Boy, we have a lot of news items to go over, huh? Yeah, here we go. Yeah, so let's see. Nothing today. Starts tomorrow morning with Moby. He's in Western Australia. He'll be going over the extended trading hours, trading it. He's an expert at it. He's also looking at a lot of options information. He's an excellent coach. He's an excellent educator. Don't miss it. 8 o'clock a.m. East Coast time tomorrow morning. Later in the afternoon, 3 p.m. East Coast time, I will be presenting and I will be going over the pilot program in detail with you guys, answering your questions and going over the how to get set up for that program. And then I would like to open it up also for some of the other traders in there. Okay, so Trading is Life and Shark, Laura, DNT, and others who are doing really well. Yeah, we'll dive deep into the pilot program there. Okay. All right. Thanks for coming, everybody. We'll catch up with you tomorrow. Bye bye.